And for further analysis on the situation in Lebanon, we're now joined from Beirut by Brigadier General Maroun Tawfik, the military and strategic expert. General Tawfik, welcome to Qnews. Now, what are the main reasons that have prompted Israel to expand its attacks on Lebanon, although there are talks of a ceasefire?
أنا من لما أسمع الترجمة بالعربية.
أستاذ مروان هل
General Tawfik, now there is a lot of talk about a ceasefire, and what are the main reasons that have prompted Israel to expand its attacks there on Lebanon?
the Israeli forces are going into a lot of talks, and they are very active in this. And this is usually a process that is usually accompanied by military pressure, and this is usually happening at the borders. And it is understandable given that this is a policy that is being applied by the Israeli Defense Forces. And they're usually targeting, by this means, the number of revolutionaries that are at the border. And they're, of course, trying to reach as deep as possible so as to be as possibly a deterrent as much as possible. And and at the political level, they are refusing, as a rule, any new calls for peace or ceasefire. And for them, any excuse is good to hit at Hezbollah, and this calls for a strong exchange of fires among them.
Sir, now there is a U.S. request and a call for Lebanon to declare a unilateral ceasefire, but what are the motives for the U.S. to make such a request?
نعم فهمت السؤال. كان هناك
Indeed, there was a draft. Indeed, there was a draft. تفضل أستاذ مروان.
موجودة في القرار 1701.
The resolution 1701 is calling upon Hezbollah to withdraw to the line behind the Litani River, and as such, they are trying to maintain a distance between Hezbollah and to make its fires out of reach, and this is, of course, this is causing further retaliatory attacks on the buffer zone, and and there is some space within Lebanon, at least, whereby that would be called some sort of the demilitarized zone. So they're trying to destroy the villages and the hamlets north of the Litani River, so as to scare the inhabitants of the Lebanese towns, so as to accept the conditions as is.
Sir, now what are the main points, the main conditions for the ceasefire proposal, and what are the motives, the reasons for the U.S. to make such a request for the ceasefire proposal?
لم يصل المشروع القرار المتحد.
The resolution of the UN resolution has not reached its conclusion yet. It's it is about to be published, though, but up till now there is nothing in front of the insistence of the Israeli forces to abide by this resolution no matter what. And there is, of course, a mutual military pressure on both sides, and it is a matter of a mutual game of power that is, and of course, the negotiations are still going on, and this is, of course, under pressure because of the refugees from the south to the north. And unfortunately, the Israeli forces are trying to cut the road among the refugees from the south to the north so as to avoid any repopulation of the south. We have reached the 1.2 to 1.5 million Lebanese that have crossed the Litani, and in fact, on the Israeli side, they haven't been more than 200,000 maximum.
General Tawfik, now these negotiations include the parties such as the Lebanese government and Hezbollah. What would their reaction be? What's their reaction to the ceasefire proposal, and what might be the obstacles and problems that would reach or would face reaching this proposal?
The main obstacle is the Israeli forces. There is nothing on the Lebanese side that is representing any obstacle whatsoever. On whatever, in fact, the Israeli side is mentioned specifically in the resolution number 1701, but unfortunately they are refuting such the resolution, and therefore there is an important call from the Israelis that it is imperative that the Lebanese should abide by their side of the resolution without the opposite being true. And therefore, many of the Lebanese are accused of being guilty of breaching this resolution. Well, this is not true.
Sir, if the US is actually calling for the ceasefire proposal in Lebanon, does that mean that they can exert some sort of influence on the Israeli side if they are the main obstacle for reaching a ceasefire deal?
The US cannot be a party in the negotiation if we are talking about being unbiased. They must be biased. Even in the most simple of the resolutions, the NATO, for instance, is involved in the UN resolution, and as such, before even short of the US elections, no one of the two candidates, whether Republican or Democrat, is willing to press enough or to put enough pressure on the Israeli side so as to abide by the rules of the ceasefire. On the same line, the resolution number 1701 should be applied in full and a la letra as being, and there is no practical development that's happening on the ground except that there is more retaliatory actions and attacks on Lebanese soil. And if we're really calling for a dispute resolution, I believe that there is no whatever right that can give one party the right to attack the other without the other being retaliatory or trying to defend itself.
Brigadier General Maroun Tawfik, the military and strategic expert, thank you very much, sir, for your insights.